So, as we have a few of familiar faces around here. I'm going to start with a question. What is the difference between belief and faith? Is there a difference between believing and having faith? What do you believe in? What kind of sense do you use to believe in something? And what kind of attitude or sense do you use to have faith in something? So we're going to talk about the interesting process of believing. Normally, we say that who believe has trust, faith, or confidence in something or something. And someone or something, sorry. But belief involves intellectual acceptance of facts, intellectual, rational acceptance of someone or something. It doesn't necessarily motivate action. For example, someone might believe Alexander the Great existed but not have faith in him. What about faith? Involves trust, commitment that can result in a change in behavior. It is often described as a firm belief. So, if you want to compare, faith is a firm belief in something for which there is no proof. Faith can endure the face of doubt. For example, having faith in a pilot involves knowing that they are competent. What if they're not? And it's still on board. And everything's going to be good. Do you guys have faith that God is good and fair? Is that something that you agree with? Is that something that is right for you? So if God is fair, how come in the same family or in the same house you can have two girls? They are equal good, they didn't do anything wrong, but one is crippled, the other one is a cheerleader. What is the fairness on that? There's no fairness. But God is fair. Yeah. So what is explained, the beautiful explanation about the difference in between faith and belief is the way that Spiritism explained it. Because, of course, if there's nothing that can corroborate to the fact that these girls are equal good, but one has a big problem, the other one has nothing, if they didn't do anything in this life, so it's probably not from this life. And that opens a big, huge door. That is the believing or the faith that is in previous life. And that we're going to have an afterlife. So this life changes the meaning right off the bat. There's no just this part here. It's not just like we're born and we die and that's it, the end. You go on and on and on. What have you been done? Thinking about that after here, after this material life, you're going to still going. So that's something that you've been doing for yourself as a soul. Do you believe that you're doing something good for your soul, not just your body? Our body we need to feed, we need to do a lot of things, but for our soul. We are in a city that has a blessed to be surrounded by entertainment parks. So people come here to have fun. Only that is awesome for us because the psychosphere is totally positive. They come to have good times, not to have bad times, not to curse, not to do anything. And most of that came because Disney, a visionary, decided to open a park here. And I love a quote from Disney. I worked there for 10 years that says that all you need is faith, trust, and a little bit of pixie dust. But if you are familiar to Peter Pan tale, when Tinkerbell spread some pixie dust on somebody's head, does this person fly right off the bat? Is there anything on this formula for what? You have to believe, but not just that. You have to believe in positive thinking. You have to happy thoughts. That's the fuel. He probably didn't know what it was he was talking about by the time, because there are no studies about the positivity, about positive psychology. Nothing was done by his time. But that's it. It's the attitude. It's the positive attitude. Because how does spirits communicate to us? By frequency, right? If they align to the frequency that you are, they can communicate because they are in the same frequency. But if your frequency is down, it's low, what kind of spirits will communicate with you? If it's high, what kind of spirits will communicate with you? All you need is faith, trust, and pixie dust. So happy thoughts, happy attitudes. Not the Pollyanna glasses, but there is always a good side on every kind of situation that we face. That's the way we try to keep on going. Because again, my friends, I have two information for you. One is not good and the other one is good. Which one you prefer first? Huh? Not good. We tend to go for the negative because our brains wire for the negative. Here it's, hey, you're pretty good. No, we're not. We came from, some legions of people that didn't do too good. Otherwise, we're not going to be here. We're going to be in a more evolved planet. The good news is that we are here to go to the more evolved planets. We're here to learn how to evolve. That's great. We cannot ask for more than that. So Kardec just put this as, I think this is a commandment for me. Unshakable faith is only that which can face reason in all human epochs. This is belief and trust and faith at the same time. Because it's a rational faith. It's not something that is a blind faith that I believe because just because I believe. No, I believe because there are reasons for me to believe, even though those reasons are not visible, are not material. I never saw God. He never went to my home and had supper. And that doesn't mean that I don't believe in Him. Why? Well, because I see so many incredible things happening. Somebody has to be responsible for that. How can a big tree come from a seed? We cannot explain that. We research that, but we're not the ones that create that kind of process. Somebody did. It's a way knowledgeable than us. So unshakable faith, it's about believing in something with all your heart just because there is a reason behind that thought. The central tenet of Spiritism is the belief in spiritual life. On Gospel According to Spiritism, chapter 2, Kardec said, this faith placed enormous consequences upon the moralization of men because it completely changes the point of view as to how life on earth is regarded. As I start, if you do believe that there is more than just one life, then the purpose of this life changes. The purpose of this life is to keep evolving, and you just don't have one life to evolve. You cannot do everything all together. And we have a kind of interpretation when we hear from our previous churches that we've been and stuff that, oh, you have to follow Jesus' steps. And what we hear is that I need to be just like Jesus. No. We cannot do that. We had to go baby steps. But He left the manual per se for us to follow. You don't need to do as he did because you don't have his knowledge. You don't have all the information that he knows about the spiritual world. So how can you do the way he does or he did? It's completely impossible. What you can do is the best that you can by follow his steps with baby micro steps, but you're still in the right path. Okay, Jesus did a lot of miracles, right? Correct? Were there miracles? What is the point of view if it's not the view of a point? Perception is the name of the game. Facts, you cannot go against facts, but if your perception is different, you're going to refuse the facts. So, are those balls moving in circles? Our perception tells us that they are, but no. Each ball is moving in a straight line, and the combo of those makes you understand as a circle. Is this a miracle? It can be thought as a miracle, but there is an explanation behind that. It's a miracle of optical illusion, but still, it's not something out of this world. Miracle is something that defies the nature, the laws of the nature. And Jesus didn't come to defy any law of the nature. So, see, you're going to add dots, and they move in a pattern, and all of a sudden, it seems that each dot is following the other, and all of a sudden, it will complete a full circle. But nothing is moving in a circular way. It's just our perception. Don't be judgmental. It's just our perception. Perception is hard to negotiate. When you meet somebody, when you do something and you have your perception, watch out because we're too fast in make up our minds. And after that, it's going to be a long, long road to change it. That's us. So, watch out in what do you believe, because sometimes faith will overdo that. This book, unfortunately, is still not in English. I heard from the Federation that they're working on translated, but this is the spirit of Hamed was a psychologist in a previous life, and he talks about belief and karma. We bring as a sum of multiple existence negative beliefs that our value is measured by our successful performance and that mistakes would lower our worth as a person. And now you know we don't like too much to commit errors because we refer that to what we're worth in life. But who here ride a bicycle? Raise your hand. So you guys you pick a bike and start doing like any kind of maneuver, jumping through the hoops and everything, or you try, you fall, you stand up, you fall, stand up, try, and fall, until you learn how to do it. How can you learn something without committing some errors? So why do we worth less if we fail? Fail is no more than an acronym. First attempt in learning. That is fail. We need to fail to understand what is we need to learn the next time. We didn't have light. We would not have light if this guy didn't fail 199 times. And the 1,000th time he find it out. Because every time he failed, he was telling me, this is an opportunity for me to improve what I just did. The problem is fail and repeat the same error over and over. Then I'm sorry, right? So You're not here to learn. You're here to whatever. But again, God is so good that it doesn't matter if you don't do anything on this incarnation, you're going to have another. And another. And another. So let's try to do the best with this one as we can. Hence, the disconnect emotions of fear, displeasure, and punishment. Are those emotions positive? No, right? And when you don't feel positive emotions, what kind of energy you vibrate? What kind of spirits are you attracting? Again, it's a game in a way of trying to keep your perspective, your perception in check. Not blaming yourself for everything that happens to you, but trying to ask yourself, what's there for me? What is the opportunity? Raise your hand. Who likes problems?
Who likes what?
Problems. Thank you. He's the only one that likes money. Because if you don't like problem, you don't like money. We're here to solve our customers' problem. That's the way we make money. Hello? Simple as that. I'm just saying something material because it makes sense to us. This is belief. But faith is, if you do whatever you can do in a good way, the universe will collaborate to pick you up, to lift you up. That's faith. As an example, we unconsciously think that we are imperfect and flawed. People will no longer trust us, or we will never succeed in life. If that's the case, I will probably not going to be talking to you whatsoever. Because I can tell you how many times people say that I cannot do something because of my imperfection. And I use my imperfection to raise me up. You tell me that I can do it? Wait a minute. I'll let you know. And by now, I think I'm doing pretty good. But it's about changing your belief to faith in yourself. How can you be faithful to yourself? How can you have faith in yourself if you don't know you? Oh, Peter, so you know yourself pretty good? No, I don't. And that's where the faith plays the role. I believe that I can do better than I'm doing. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I became a speaker in the center. That's why I give passes. That's why I do pretty much whatever I can do. I don't know what I did with my hands. It's not for me to know. So let me give back with my hands something good. Give passes. It's energy. Sometimes it heals people. Sometimes make them feel better. I don't know. It's my way of understanding, of processing my faith through the belief, through the rational belief. But when we face tomorrow, we tend to forget things. We face tomorrow just by the thing that what I'm going to eat tomorrow, in 5 years, where I'm going to be in financial wise and stuff. And then we have our friend, Emmanuel, that just like Joanna the Angel is another spirit. He doesn't spare us too much from the truth. But this kind of, this text that I bring to you is kind of nice or mild for Emmanuel. So let's hear it. Everything, my brother from earth, is understandable. Everything is natural preoccupation of existence. So everything in our life that we are preoccupied with, it's normal. It pertains to this world. However, we can explain your mad attachment to surface illusion. We don't even understand. Why don't you dedicate few minutes each day, each week, or each month to reflect on the transience of human resources? How much time you spend on your phone scrolling? You don't see about absolutely anything. What if 5 minutes is just about thinking about your immortal? So, This talking to you is not me. What animates this body is me. Do I know myself completely? No. Probably when I discarnate, I will know a little bit more about myself in time, because we don't know right off the bat as well. But why don't we spend a little bit, see how your day changes when you think about that you are a little bit above everything that happens in your daily life. Not telling you forget about it, give up. No. But just change your perception, your level of conscience. Understand that you are more than just this body and this incarnation. And you're here to get better. So even if the situation is very bad or presents as very bad right now, what can I do better? Where is the silver lining on this situation? Because there always is. And where you focus in, the rest miraculously disappear. That's how we wire. That's how our brain is wired. If you focus on something, the rest, it's not there anymore, because we don't have the capability in our brains to absorb every single piece of information. At this point, if you're looking at me and pay attention, you cannot see, you don't know what the person on your side is doing. Otherwise, your attention will go to the other side. Your focus will change. But if in a situation that it's good or bad, you think about you are more than just the person that is talking right there. You are an immortal soul. You have a commitment to do better. Your perspective change, your focus change. You can act more accurately. You can act more towards the greater good. Recognize that you will take nothing materially from the physical plane. As much as apart from the goods from the spirit, you brought nothing by landing on it. Even your body that was lending to you, you had to give back. You're not going up or down, it doesn't matter, but you're not going to discarnate with your body. You're not going to take your body with you. You're going to give back to the earth. We only wish to emphasize that no matter what is your conviction, no one will flee from the future. So, it's not, the future. It's, yes, the future. What can I do to get that better than I am now? That's all it is. Again, it's not being Jesus, it's follow his steps. Baby steps, micro steps. Whatever step you can do, just do it. I'm quoting Nike here. If they did that, this is amazing, because they celebrate whatever great achievements humankind can do. So even a brand can do good. Even a brand can stimulate greater things from people. Why not us? Oh, we're not as good, as big as a brand. Well, we're better because we're human. Brands don't have humanity on them. Do we have audio there? The greatest illusionist, Houdini. That's the story about him. Or not.
You are about to hear a strange but true story. Legend has it, Harry Houdini, the master magician, once claimed that he could break out of any jail cell in the world. All he had to do was walk into that jail cell with his street clothes on. "I'll be out of there in 1 hour, no problem," he said. Well, a very old jail down south heard about Houdini's claims, and they accepted his challenge. On the day of the event, many people gathered outside. Very confidently, Houdini walked right into the jail and into the cell, and they shut the metal doors behind him. The first thing Houdini did was he took off his coat. Then, very strangely, he took off his belt. Secretly hidden in Houdini's belt was a 10-inch piece of steel, very tough and very flexible, and Houdini started working. In about 30 minutes, that confident expression Houdini had when he walked in disappeared. In 1 hour, he was bathed in sweat. And at the end of 2 hours, Houdini, in defeat, collapsed against the door, which then opened. It opened because, you see, that door had never been locked. But that's not entirely true, is it? That door was locked. It was firmly and thoroughly locked in Houdini's mind, which meant it was locked as if the best locksmith in the world had put his lock on it. The mind is powerful. How many doors in your life do you think are locked but aren't? How many times have you been stuck in the mental prison of overthinking something that really had a simple solution? There is an ancient African proverb that says, when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Your mind is the most powerful force you will ever face. It will tell you lies. It will tell you you can't do that. You're not meant for that. You're not good enough for that. You can't go on anymore. You don't have the energy. You must thank it for its opinion and carry on. Because like Houdini showed us, the only locked doors that exist are in your own mind. The doors in reality are open, and all you have to do is walk through.
Only as you do know yourself can your brain serve you as a sharp, efficient tool. Know your failings, passions, and prejudice so you can separate them from what you see. Now you're getting a little bit more of a glimpse of what is the difference in between belief and have faith. It's a deep belief. It's something that mainly no facts can affect you if you know for sure that you have faith in yourself. Because there is a lot of information in this world, especially now there is a tsunami of information online. Our brain cannot process half or a tenth of that. So what do we believe in? You see the campaigns, you see politicians, you see what happens to the COVID flu and vaccine and all the information that was spread around. What you believe in. So if you don't filter with a powerful tool, it's hard for you to keep on going or to grasp something. Because normally, what he said in the video, we don't know who we are. Do you know who you are? When someone invites you to a wedding feast, do not take the place for honor for a person more distinguished than you may have been invited. So the host who invite both of you come and say to you, give this person your seat. For all those who exalt themselves will be humble, all those humble themselves will be exalted. Who are you in this table? If you know who you are, you're going to sit in the chair that is reserved for you. If you don't, you're going to start the dancing chair process. You sit here, but somebody comes, oh, this is mine, or this is mine. And you never know what is your place. So the first thing about believing and having faith in us, is know who you are. And by know who you are, you have to admit that we have plenty of flaws, that we commit plenty of errors. And that's okay. That's why we're here. That is why we are on planet Earth. Otherwise, we're not going to be incarnated here. Our energy as a higher spirit will take us to a different planet. if you do believe in incarnation in different planets as well. And if you don't and you are interested in it, just tell one of us, because we're going to put this as a subject to be discussed in next speeches here at the center. What is your place in life? What is your place at the table? What is your position in the universe of yourself? It's not the universe, it's the universe of yourself. Where are you? You're a bystander? Isn't it time for you to get out of the public and assume the stage of your life and be the number one and be the main actor and main actress? What should it take for you to do that? Believe in yourself. And if belief is not enough, start collecting information to have faith in yourself. There is a book called Minutes of Wisdom. And funny enough, it was not written by a Spiritist person, not even dictated by spirits. It was written by a priest that later on moved to different directions. But there is one chapter that says something. God believes in you. If you don't believe in yourself, then you don't believe in God. Think about it. Think how powerful this is. How dare you don't believe in yourself if a greater power believes in you, gave you life, gave you a possibility to become an angel. And from where we are right now, it seems like millions of miles away. But yes, that's our path. And we can get there if we can respond effectively to those questions. Is this place you occupy today really yours? Are you sitting in the right chair? Or, as we say in psychology, are you feeling this imposter syndrome? That you don't think you're that good, but you are pretending that you are that good. And you are fighting against yourself. Why? You don't think that this is your chair, find your chair. But first, dive deep to think about who you are. What do you want? As a body incarnated on planet Earth and as an immortal soul. As an immortal soul, I think that the answer for everybody is like to progress. Okay, how? If you don't give specific to the brain, it will not follow through. When are you going to start doing this? How are you going to start doing this? And to respond when and how, you have to respond first why. Why am I going to do all of this? Why am I going to go through all this trouble? When you respond to yourself, why, then you're going to answer like this, how and when. Those who abandon self-cultivation allow the thicket of their imperfections to take over their soul. If you don't like yourself, there are so many reasons for you to condemn yourself, to regret, to... What is to forgive? When you forgive somebody, what are you doing? Are you forgetting everything that this person did to you? I cannot hear you.
No. You're releasing the negative emotions against that person.
You're releasing yourself from the chains that you create by having some hard feelings about somebody. But if the fault or if the judgment is against yourself, how do you release this from yourself?
Forgive yourself.
Yeah. How come? How can you do that?
By recognizing that that's something that you can and will get past.
By recognizing that there's something that you can and will get past. By using Walt Disney's pixie dust proposal, have happy thoughts. You're not going to get past to anything bad if you keep hurting yourself. But we have this tendency. This is on us, because when we left the cave, if you look at the butterfly and not look at the dinosaur, bye-bye incarnation. Maybe next time you'll have more luck. So we are wired materially to see the bad aspects or the negative side of things. We have to put some protections in our line of thought to do it the opposite. When you start thinking bad or start thinking negative, oh, here I go again, change. What is the most expensive real estate in the world? Our minds. You remember the video, right? Yeah, our minds is the most expensive real estate in the world. Don't let any thought live there without paying rent. We let a lot of thoughts to come into our brain, to our mind, and they will do a lot of damage. Because the thoughts are the commands that we give to our brain. If we think about too much about something, our brain will understand that we like that. And what it will do, give you more than that, more of the same. So you keep, you're never going to get out of this circle of pain. Because you condition your brain to understand that pain is cool. Because I think about that all the time. And then you release what to your body? A lot of bad chemicals. Cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine, things like this. And then you get sick. Those who abandon self-cultivation. What is self-cultivation? First is believe in yourself. Believe that you can do something that people will tell you that you can't. It's about changing your perspective. Audio, please.
Is this jar full?
Yes.
And is it full now?
Yes.
And how about now? Is the jar full now?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Now, I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. Golf balls are the important things, your family, your friends, your health, and your passions. The pebbles are the other important things, your car, your job, your home. The sand is everything else, it's just the small stuff. Now, if you put the sand into the jar first, you won't have room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same is true in life. If you spend all your energy and your time on the small stuff, you won't have time for all the really important things that matter to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Take care of the golf balls first, the really important things. Set your priorities, because everything else is just sand. Yes?
Professor, what does the beer represent?
I'm glad you asked. It goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem to be, there's always room for a couple of beers with a friend.
Not that I recommend beer. You can have a drink, you can have water, you can have a juice, but whatever. You understood the proposition. The proposition is, what are you looking at? What is your perspective about things? Are you putting sand first? Are you putting pebbles first? And then you want to have room for all the golf balls? You're not going to do it. Prioritize. And prioritize with which lenses? Happiness. Sometimes happiness seems that is something particular to us, but have you ever felt happy because you made somebody feel happy as well? So happiness has more than one understanding, has more than one side. Go search for happiness, not just for your pleasure. Go search for happiness as a whole. Having friends, that's a research from Harvard, that they follow the same group. Now they are 80-something. And the ones that survived, the ones that are still here, were the ones that kept the circle of friends together. Because one gives support to the other. So far and so on. That is happiness. That is pure happiness. When we get to a certain age as well, it's hard to say that you have the burning of passion for your spouse. But you feel happy to be with them. You feel happy to do some little things, small things in your day that you feel accomplished, even if you just made breakfast. And you feel happy. If you allow yourself to feel happy. If you don't allow yourself to feel happy, it's just one more thing that you do in your day. It's your daily check. In the end, the real check of emotions will not balance. And it's going to be another day that you could be happy, but you're not. Pay attention to this important message that the video just showed to you. Pay attention to your beliefs. And understand that if you need to be stronger, think about faith as well. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down in steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by actions make your dreams come true. The word here, my friends, is attitude. That Zig Ziglar once said, your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. You want to fly high? Start doing. You start with uncertain. You start with fear. You start not knowing what you're going to do. You start with the way that you can. But just start. Coming to a center, listen to lectures, it's amazing because this time that you're here, you are being helped by the spirits that are here at the center. But if you don't do this, it's trying to satiate your hunger just by reading the menu. It won't work. Those teachings just work if you put them in your daily life. If you don't, you want to know the difference between a master and a beginner, Alex? The master has failed more times than the beginner ever tried. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of failing. As long as you learn. As long as you don't repeat the same error. Keep on going. Keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts will become your words. Your words will become your behavior. Your behavior will become your habits. Your habits will become your values. And your values will become your destiny. You want to get better? Think about what you are feeding your brain with. Think about your beliefs. Filter them a little better. And you're going to have a better outcome. When we have faith and discipline, everything comes easier. Patience is the mother of all virtues. With anxiety, all our lives become worse. Yesterday at the Fraternal Assistance, we had a lecture about being in a hurry all the time. And then I remember one joke that if Divaldo Franco, the greatest medium in Brazil, already told this one, I think I'm allowed to say it as well. That says that somebody, a great spiritist, discarnate and was thinking to God himself and asked him, God, what is 100 million years face to eternity? And God said, 100 million years is just a second, my child. And then, why? It's because he's just discarnated, he's still in contact with the material world. What is $100 million compared to eternity? $100 million is just a cent. Then they say, hey, God, give me a cent. And God responds, give me a second. Don't be greedy. God's time is better than ours. He knows when we are allowed to receive what we're asking. So wait, have faith. Believe that you can do whatever you want to do in time. Do your plan. Thank you.